Aquaman issue 42, Dan Abnett and Lan Medina, which is a tie-in to this, but also the final issue of Abnett's run, which is really weird. And there's elements of that there. Like, it feels kind of like a greatest hits because you see Wrath again, and you see some other things.
It kind of feels like, here's the message of my run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem though is that it feels like the reason why the effect that Poseidon had on Aquaman put him into like a place in his head is just to justify how we can have an issue inside his head, and that's it. That's the whole issue.
It's a clip show.
Yeah, it's a clip show. Yeah, that's all it is, and it's not necessarily a terrible issue. It's just well enough written, but a couple of pages into it, I'm like, okay, we're just in Aquaman's head as he's like learning whatever Poseidon's giving him.
Yeah, I really don't like this issue.
It's very tedious.
Yeah,
it's about a word.
I think it's kind of pointless. For one, you say, oh, it's a greatest hits. It's supposed to be this stuff, but it feels so unearned to just do it like this.
Oh, I never said it was good. I said that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah. But greatest hits feels generous.
He's in a hard place, right? I'll blame Amnet for this because his final issue is a tie-in to a crossover. Well, it's not even really a crossover. It's just a Justice League story that has a couple of Aquaman tie-ins. And like, what does he do? He has to wrap up his run. He has to fit it into the story of what's going on in the main story. And it's like,
I mean, his run's been going about what 50 odd issues.
Mm-hmm.
He had a little bit before Rebirth.
Yeah, he had an arc before. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty solid run. Like, you take away some of the early Rebirth stuff, like once he really got going with the Aquamarines.
Yeah, that early Rebirth's just the weakest section.
And there's that one. There was that run Wrath issue that was pretty bad, but other than that, it was a pretty solid run.
Yeah, it's definitely like one of those that'll be. Oh, hey, so I want an Aquaman run. Yeah, you can read this. It'll be good enough.
Yeah.
You look at Aquaman and you're basically Peter David and Dan Abnett.
I think in terms of recommending
Jeff Parker.
this.
Oh, sure, yeah, I like Jeff Parker. And Johns, obviously.
Jeff Johns, yeah. I think in terms of recommending this in the future, though, as a run, I'm gonna struggle because it kind of doesn't have an ending. It kind of just like, I guess I'm done.
There's no resolution with a lot of the Mera as Queen stuff, which I'm sure they're gonna pick up on, when.
But it kind of
Kelly Sue.
A lot of it just kind of like, I guess I'm done. Yeah.
Honestly, only because of the little extra stuff at the end. Like, I think you for the end of Abnett's run, you take it as the end of the Wrath story, which also was the end of the Mira mini, right? It ended with her being proper queen and them saving Atlantis and it rising. That was the end of his run, was Atlantis rising. The crossover with Suicide Squad and then these tie-ins to Drowned Earth are just
the coronation is part of that.
It doesn't matter though. It really doesn't matter.
But any other writer, like he could have been done. Like, that's the logical end of his story. Was Mira ascended.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, that's the ending. You don't really need to see the coronation. That was just there because he had to do more issues.
Yeah.
So would you say in future to someone reading it, just stop there?
Yeah, because I mean, it wouldn't even be in the trade, right? Because the Suicide Squad one would be its own little mini, and then these two Aquaman issues, I assume, will be in the Justice League trade. I would just say stop at the end of that. But there you go. That's your ending.
Yeah.
And that stuff was the strongest. Like from issue 25 till the end of that story, that was his pinnacle.
Really. Tried and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, it was really good stuff. So I would just say there's a couple of really weird add-ons at the end because they had to have the book going long enough before the new run started.
Do you know what's something I'm sad about Aquaman going forward? And don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to trying the Kelly Sue stuff. But I'm a little bit sad we dropped Sejic's style already. I thought that's it. That's the style for the next 5 years. That's what we're going with as Aquaman style. Then I guess we're back to house style.
That and Dolphin. I need to see more Dolphin. I like her a lot.
Yeah, I like Sejic's style on that book as well. It made it feel a bit more unique.
Because it was even after he left, it was like no, we're keeping that feeling, right? And that's why we assumed that'll be the style going forward. And I guess not.
It was for the rest of the run, but
yeah, which was nice. I'm glad it lasted as long as it did. I would have loved for that to carry forward.
Yeah. Yeah, as for this actual issue, what's going on? It's like Aquaman's a little boy with his dad, and his dad's telling him to be brave and find hope, basically, as Aquaman sees like some of his greatest enemies. Sees Mantis, sees Wrath, and sees Ocean Master.
Form.
And then he's like, "Oh, great! I'll wake up now."
It's like, I need to grow up. Sure, yeah, I'm an adult.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It was a pointless tie-in, really.
Yeah, I didn't like this issue.
Like we kind of knew that's what this was going to happen by the fact that it was a tie-in and not part of Drowned Earth. Like we joked like, oh, this next issue is just going to be what had happened after.
It really felt like, Drowned Earth was written, and it was like, oh, when he gets hit with Poseidon, we'll use that as our excuse to have an issue. We'll just say an issue takes place in his head,
Right.
and they had to think of a way to shoehorn it in, and that's what it feels like.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
it's weird that going through all these greatest hits things that Dolphin doesn't really show up.
Nope. That's so I brought her up because like you feel like that was meant to add some tension with the Mara thing, and now that's just like, we're not doing that anymore.
No, like I get that she's represented in the fact that I assume that's meant to be a dolphin. That's his friend that guides him back to shore. But I mean,
because that's what Dolphin did for him. She helped him become the Aquaman again.
But we not have just had Dolphin show up? We had Wrath. We had everyone else. Why not just use Dolphin?
Yeah, where's King Shark? He was important.
Jurok Biss,
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Yeah, where's Volko? Who's representing Volko in all this, man?
Well, no one else is represented. It's just Dolphin.
Yeah.
I'm like, but why?
I don't know. There was a crabfish in the background of one of the panels. I think that was Volko. What are you rating Aquaman? The book, Matt?
5.5. It was pretty bad.
As in 5.5. All right, okay.
Yeah, 5.5.
No, I'm not getting into it again. I'm not. You cut 5.5. It literally, by definition, above average.
Yeah.
But it's pretty bad.
Yeah, so it's still readable.
What are you giving it, Cara?
A 4.
Yeah, I think I'm on line with the 4 because it wasn't terribly written. It wasn't like it was horrible art or anything like that. It was just the concept and why it exists just felt forced and
it feels irrelevant.
Yeah.
It feels clunky. It feels like a bit of a mess in terms of just that it's hey, here's everything at once. Even though the dialogue's fine, it's got no weight to it. It's got nothing to it.
You could have skipped this and started Kelly Sue's stuff, and it would have been fine.
You probably should have skipped this if you haven't read it already for some reason.